Right, here it's checkpoint 4 of the South Downs Way 50. This is the final section of the recce that we're doing. The checkpoint is actually here in that barn, and then we'll be heading down this way towards the YHA car park, where we'll be going over that way ultimately. This is going to be the hardest section of the three, although it's the shortest. It's only 13 miles, maybe 14. But there are 3 big hills in there. A hill right from the very start, and then 2 further on, finishing up with a sharp slope down into Eastbourne. So let's get on with it. Half a mile in, and the only place where it could really go wrong here will be, you don't go down there where it's a path, just follow the chalk path straight up. No escaping this hill, I'm afraid. Gotta do it. Right, once we get to the top of that chalk bit, we're not going straight ahead. It's at about 0.7 miles. We're turning left and going along that way, where you can see Phil now. Hey! A mile and a half in, almost. A mile and a quarter, mile and a half. And we've reached the first trick point, so we're going downhill now. Hey. Just approaching Firle Beacon car park, and which is in front of me, which obviously you can't see at the moment. I'll turn around. Firle Beacon car park. Just approaching 3 miles into the checkpoint 4. So got about 10 miles to go till we're done, and we just go straight through the car park. Before we get to the end of the car park, we're going through this gate, not to the end. Hopefully it'll be a bit drier in 2 weeks' time. So I've seen a lot of chatter about whether to wear road shoes or trail shoes out in the South Downs. Now, Phil there behind me said on our first recce run how you only need to get a few days of dry weather and the whole trail dries out. So that'll probably be the way to go, I think. Certainly from what I've seen so far. I mean, it was raining a few days ago and there's nothing, I mean, we're out on what could potentially be a mud bath there, but it's absolutely fine. So I guess whether or not you wear trail shoes or road shoes, play it by ear. If it's been absolutely hammering it down, I mean, this has been the wettest January to March, I think, on record. But it's still relatively dry now here. So yeah, play it by ear. If it's heading down into Bo Peep car park, which is 4.5, 4.75 miles after checkpoint 4, so it's about 38, 39 miles, I think, maybe even 40 into the actual race. I'll have to work that out later and then stick it in the comments up in the corner of the screen or something. Right, now I don't want to fall down here or trip. It's only 2 weeks of the race, I can't afford it. Going up to a section a little after 5 miles in, where the path seems to go off to the right and to the left, and we're taking the left fork here. You can see the South Downs Way acorn there, which I guess could be a bit confusing, could it? No, it's just an arrow going straight ahead and not directing us to the right. About 6.25 miles in now, and on the descent into Alfriston, where checkpoint 5 is, and it's about, we think it's about 41 miles into the race, and as South Downs Way 50 is slightly short, just about 7 miles short of the finish line. At the end of that descent, we're at a junction now. We're not going to the left or to the right, we're going down the narrow path. So this path down into Alfriston is quite steep and very gravelly, so be careful, especially I guess if you're running this in road shoes. You're more likely to slip over in those. It's gravelly mostly in the middle, so you can probably keep to the sides for the safest route down. Star lane there. So we're down at the Georgian. Ignore what I said previously. We're turning right at the end, and this road is ridiculously busy for somewhere that's in the middle of nowhere. So right down here, and then first left, I believe. And I believe this is the checkpoint, is it not?
Correct.
So yeah, United Reformed Church over the famous White Bridge. So yes, you can see on this signpost here, we've just gone over the White Bridge, and our blue acorn sign takes us down that way, but there is also a South Downs Way yellow sign. Do not go that way, that will take you into Eastbourne. It will take you into the wrong place, and you'll probably get disqualified, I imagine. But yeah, so we're going down this path here. So we've just had a discussion about this, and the South Downs Way sign is directing us down there. Now that is a quagmire, and the GPX that I downloaded from the Centurion website has us going along the road. So I suspect we do go along the road, because the amount of rain that we've had, and apparently this has always been a quagmire. So you can see, I mean, the entire field there is flooded. I reckon that's going to be impassable. But we'll go along the road anyway, and we'll find out on the day whether or not this is the correct move. Okay, so we're about 7.5, 7.75 miles in, and we've got to this junction here, and we are not going towards Alfriston. We are heading up towards Milton Street, down that way, avoiding the cars that are trying to run us over. So it's immediate right now, going up this hill. And this is the only hill that I think possibly I might need poles for. You know, I think
Not this one. You'll need poles for Jerrington.
Okay, right. So not this hill. The next one. Okay. We are, I believe, approaching the top of the hill outside Alfriston, and yeah, as Phil said, it's not as bad as I thought it was. And we'll wait for the next one, where apparently it's a nightmare. We'll find out when we get there. Oh wait, I lied. I don't think we're near the top of the hill. I think this hill follows around that way. So, I mean, yeah, it's still not too bad. Probably looks worse than it is from here. At this point, the roadway or pathway splits and goes up there to the left. We're taking the right hand fork here to follow this hill around. 9 and a bit miles in, and when we get to this gate here, We are going round to the right there, where those people are in the distance, and we are not going straight up that hill, which I'm kind of thankful for. Well, not much further on from where we were, but that gate's just over there, and we're not going around the ridge there, we are now going slightly uphill where field is. So that last hill out of Alfriston wasn't too bad, turned out. It's long. Was that a couple of miles? Is that hill, do you reckon?
Maybe.
But yeah, it's steady, but yeah, definitely no need for poles or anything like that. They're over 10 miles and now maybe 10 and a quarter, and we are going down that way, I believe.
Are we?
Are we? No, we're not. We're not going down that way. That is South Downs Way, Bridleway. Or no, are we? Yes, I think we are. Because it's public Bridleway, but also South Downs. Oh, let's go out from the other side. Yeah, it's got to be. Let me check Strava. Just go down to the bottom of that hill, and we are going down this path. So to the right. So yeah, this section about 10.5 miles in. So about 45 miles of the South Downs Way 50 in the rain and the wet. This will be muddy as hell, and you're dealing not only with roots exposed, but loose branches and twigs and things, and a bit of gravel there. So this will be treacherous. Be very careful. 11 miles in and we're at St Andrew's Church, Jevington. So 11 miles is 46 miles of the actual race. Just in case you need it, I mean you only got a couple of miles to go, but just in case you need it, there is a tap outside this church. I'm pretty sure, I'm not entirely sure where that tap is. But as I say, the chances of you actually...
If I remember correctly, it's always on the side of the front.
Ah, okay.
So it could be... And front's always facing...
Oh, there. The drinking water tap that is just there, because Phil and I both bloke looked. I mean, the sign is there, the tap is there, and both of us missed it.
It's got a big drinking water sign.
And it has a big drinking water sign. And of course, it was as soon as you spotted it, highlighting another of the differences between men and women. Blokes bloke look, women actually look. What an unusual gate. Look at that. First time I've ever seen a gate like that. So yeah, Jevington Village Hall. Yes, I remember seeing this in another video from, I think it's Film My Run, where they went straight past. But yeah, this is the unknown checkpoint that everybody skims past, except apparently Mr. Paul Pickford, who went in there just to see what it was like. So we just turned left a few hundred yards past the Jevington aid station, and this will be Jevington Hill that Phil was talking about, that apparently is a bloody nightmare. So here we go. Well, we're practically at the top of Jevington Hill now. Just come to this signpost here, and there's a stone here. Says Old Town Eastbourne, and we're heading up that way where Phil and Susie are. So about a mile and a half, maybe 2 miles to go, and then we're done. So let's get on with it. I might add, Jevington Hill isn't that bad, but I mean, I guess if I'm 45, 46 miles, 47 miles maybe into a 50-mile race, then it'll probably seem a lot worse. So I will be taking my poles just in case. Yeah, they're light as anything. So I'd rather have them and not need them than not have them and need them. And there we are, just approaching the Jevington Hill trig point. So everything from now on is all downhill. So we're just trying, there's the trig point there, we're just trying to work out where it is exactly we're going down, and we think probably down this way. So there's a path up there, there's another path to the right a bit.
That does look more.
So strike what I just said, trig point there, let's roll back, and this is the gully. So right, there's the trig point. Path through here, down here, and this looks familiar now. This looks familiar from the Film My Run that I watched the other day. So yeah, we're definitely heading down here. Striver agrees, we are going down here. So if you don't see this, almost as soon as you get leave the trig point, you've probably gone wrong. Now this is slippery, and I'm wearing trail shoes and I'm still sliding, and it's not been raining for a couple of days, so be very, very careful down here. Phil and I aren't even going to try bothering running this. Get over 12.5 miles in, and don't be fooled by the blue public right of way sign taking you up that way. We're actually going down that gully there, which says public right of way rather than South Downs Way. So this is, I think, the only time that we actually followed a sign saying public right of way. Okay, just come down Willingdon Hill, and last stretch now, a mile or so, just to Hampden Park, and the stadium track.
Sports centre.
Sorry, sports centre. Sports centre. I was giving it delusions of grandeur.
Yeah.
So when we get down to, well, just prior to that house, there's an alleyway going through here, and back onto here. Now, Phil and Susie remember this differently, and we think what's probably happened is there's been a slight diversion, maybe because of, I don't know, whatever reason, landslide, let's go with that. But this is definitely the way that we're supposed to go, according to the Centurion GPX file. So let's do this last little bit to the finish. Right, we get out to this road at about 13.25 miles, and it looks like we're going directly opposite from down that road. Okay, so yeah, there's a road, yeah, opposite to the left a little bit. We're going down there. Just arrived at Eastbourne District General Hospital, which I hope I'm not going to be needing the facilities. But anyway, we've come across from there, and we're going down this path alongside the hospital now. Okay, get to the end of that path now. Just approaching Hampden Park. Right then, let's through those gates, which are currently locked, but look at it, chained up. Once around the track, and you're done.